if you don't need all the people there, where can you deploy them? Can you use them for something else and all that? So until we begin to do that, it's going to be difficult for us to get to that level that we want to get as a developing nation.
It is generally believed that the 2010 banking reforms helped save the industry from collapse and that banks have recorded their strongest performances since the crisis in 2009. But I recently spoke with Professor Patutomi, who thinks the 2010 banking reforms were ill-advised, born out of malice, and that they have created more problems than they set out to solve. What do you think?
Quite frankly, the banking system was actually in a mess at the time, and something drastic needed to be done. Now, how it was going to be done was an entirely different matter. But something needed to be done. Yes, something needed to be done. Maybe it should not have been done the way it was done, but it's a matter of opinion. I think that what is most important is that no bank was allowed to fail. Depositors did not lose their money. If anybody lost their money, they would be shareholders, unfortunately so. But the reality is that when you invest in a business, sometimes, depending on what the outcome is, it could be positive, it could be negative. If you make money, you thank God. If you lose money, well, too bad. So my point is that yes, virtually all the banks were reeling from the very, very difficult global economic crisis that all the countries faced, except a few of them like Canada and I believe Australia. But Nigeria, depending solely on oil, had oil prices come down from an all-time high of about $147 per barrel to less than $40 per barrel, and this happened within a space of a few months. So it stands to reason that the economy was going to be under a lot of pressure. A lot of the banks that had invested in the oil sector lost money. Those who had also given out loans under what we call margin lending, that is loans for people to buy shares in quoted companies. Also, because of the contraction that happened in the capital market, they also lost money. And of course, real estate headed south. So there were reasons for what happened to happen. So when you have that kind of situation, the resolution of the problem would not be the way you would resolve them if it was a normal situation. So I think something drastic needed to have happened, and I think it did happen. Now, whether the way it was implemented was the best way, or there could have been better ways of doing it, is an entirely different matter.
You adduced many reasons for those problems, but what you didn't talk about was the apparent excesses in the system. How exactly did that contribute to the problem that we witnessed?
Yes, it was, quite frankly. And it always happens. You know, sometimes when things look so rosy, people tend to lose their head. There were corporate governance issues. There were banks that lent where they shouldn't have lent. There were banks that did a lot of things that were not acceptable. So those things really did happen. But I was just talking about the global economic crisis. So it was good that there was that shake-up. And I think it would be very difficult for us to go back to where we are pre-2009.
Should we have that kind of situation again? Should the market be allowed to punish failures, or should government continue to provide bailouts to failing banks?
Well, it's a matter of debate. The government, if we go back to history, you see that anytime the government looks the other way and expect that market forces have inbuilt self-regulatory regulating mechanism to resolve problems, you will always have the kind of situation we had. We had the Great Depression in 1929. We had several banking failures, and it was because regulators failed. So I am a strong believer in government intervention, because if you want the market to resolve its own problems, maybe the people that would suffer would not be the people that cause the problem. So the government has a responsibility, or the regulatory system has a responsibility to ensure that there are checks and balances. But even before you talk about government intervention in terms of resolving crisis, the regulators also have to have their eyes on the ball to ensure that some of the problems do not happen. They nip them in the bud.
You have worked in several banks and rose to the top relatively very quickly. How important is mentoring to professional advancement?
Well, I think it's very, very important. But I think it's more important for you to have the right mentor, and for the person to also be willing to be mentored. It is it's a voluntary action, and a lot of times when you are mentoring people, you don't go out there to say that you are mentoring people, but people tend to look at the track record. They look at how the person mentoring them has behaved, has risen in the chosen career, and the kind of footprints that the person has left behind. And sometimes you say, I want to be like this person. So you start understanding the person, and you want to really, really be like the person. You may not exactly be like the person, but you'll be able to pick up one or two things from the person. So I think mentoring is very important.
You want to be governor of Abia State in 2015. Your tenure as director, as Diamond Bank CEO, has just been renewed for another 3 years. Why do you want to leave the security of the corporate world for the uncertainty of partisan politics?
Good question. It would be right to say that I want to be governor of Abia State. I think my people want me to come and render service to them. I've had a lot of representations from people expecting that I would positively respond to their call to come and serve them. And the reasons are not far-fetched. They believe that I've made an impact in my chosen career. They believe that I've contributed. They believe that I've revived, of course, with my team. When you talk about service, it's not so much about your personal comfort. I think it's important that you understand that why you are blessed and why God has given you resources, and including mental resources, physical and all that, is for you to impact the society where you belong. I've always lived a life where I like to impact the society. And if this is one way of impacting a larger society than the society where I am today, why not?
But you know, someone once said that Nigeria's political system is designed to ensure that good candidates do not emerge. What lessons have you learned from the past, from the experiences of people like yourself, people like Mr. Faladiola, Professor Pachutomi, Professor Charles Soludo, and so forth, who also say, well, we just want to contribute. We just want to, our people have invited us, and we want to contribute to the society. We want to give back.
Well, I don't agree completely because in this same system that we are talking about, there are a lot of good leaders that have emerged. And one of them is the current governor of Lagos State, who has done very well. Another one is in Akwa Ibom State, and these are all professionals. They are lawyers. Fashola is a senior advocate of Nigeria. So it wouldn't be entirely correct to say that the political system keeps away those who are very good. It really depends on what you are calling it. It depends on how you approach it. It also, for me, like I said, it's the people. And if the people say, we don't want you, why not? You remain where you are. But if the people want you, there's always opportunity for you to serve them. So I really don't agree that the system is designed to keep people away.
So what would you do differently if you were Abia's?
Well, there's a lot of room for improvement. The governors who had served Abia State, and even before he became Abia State, from the time of Michael Okpara, have all done very well. The state is now 23 years old, and I think it has come of age. So today, the state is looking for technocrats to come and do things a bit differently. One of the major areas that is very close to my heart is the entrepreneurial spirit of the Abia person. The people who can survive in spite of government. Okay, and then now if you just do a little thing to create a conducive environment for their businesses to thrive, they'll probably not even care about government. One of the areas that I look at is Aba. Aba is a town that had been reputed as the Japan of Africa. And we believe we can go back to those old days, get our people to go back to what they know best, which is their businesses, their trade, of course. And we used to have a lot of other countries, West African countries, converge in Aba to buy shoes, to buy metalware, rubber, leather works, and all that. All those we can get back to those old days. Education is something that I'm very passionate about, and our state has done well. In the last WAEC result that just came out, I think 1 or 2 months ago, Abia came second, just after Anambra. So we believe we continue to build on that and ensure that, because our people love education. No matter what you do, they want to go to school, and that is very, very good. So we need to encourage them to go to school. And you know, an educated mind is not available for some of the problems that are generated by people who don't have very much education. So they won't be available for recruitment into crime. They won't be available for recruitment into kidnapping and all that. Healthcare is also another where we can improve. There are a lot of things we can do for our people just to ensure that life is better for the common man.
Dr. Alex Otti, you have our very best wishes, and we thank you again for your time.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for being part of today's program. You can watch previous editions of View from the Top on our website, channelstv.com. And do follow me on Twitter at ModeleSY. Hope to see you again soon.